Football is so much more than a single season. It's something you look forward to 365 days of the year. Just like Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies, too. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
This is an ad by Regain Couples Therapy. Let's be honest. Loving your partner doesn't mean you always like them, and guess what? That's normal. Regain, powered by BetterHelp, offers couples therapy that's flexible, affordable, and 100% online. Whether you're reconnecting or working through conflict, Regain is here to support you both. See why people wish they'd tried couples therapy sooner. Visit regain.com/couplespod to get 10% off your first month. That's regain.com/couplespod.
If you're a custodial supervisor at a local high school, you know that cleanliness is key. And that the best place to get cleaning supplies is from Grainger. Grainger helps you stay fully stocked on the products you trust, from paper towels and disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Plus, you can rely on Grainger for easy reordering, so you never run out of what you need. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Now tuned into the greatest.
So when that bag come, I won't fumble. I'm just stacking on the low, but hey, I'm tired of being humble. Let me get to it. That motivation music. Get control of your life, don't let nobody else do it. Cause I'm not gonna have matching S550s cruising. Feel like you winning on the ground.
Yes, sir. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Run with me, Manny Wilson, all the way from Detroit to Chicago to your speakers and headphones. Now, I appreciate you tuning in to the first interactive sports podcast, a community that makes sure your voice is heard. So if you hear something you agree with, you disagree with, you like or you dislike, or even if you just want to outsmart me on something I said, leave us a quick take on the voicemail line, 219-413-9405. And of course, we will play your take back on our next episode. And then speaking of the next episode, shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring this episode. Get $20 off your first ticket purchase when you use the promo code TheRunPodcast. Now, this code can only be applied for first-time users on the mobile app or website. So I don't know about you, but it's a lot of great games happening this week in the NFL. Baseball playoffs is about to get started. So, that's another point, another game you could go see. Concerts, all of that stuff. So this is the time to go see it. Anyway, reverting back to football season, man, we got a great matchup here. One of the matchups I want to see this season actually is between the Baltimore Ravens and the Detroit Lions. Now, this is going to be a crucial game. This is week 3 of the NFL. Both teams coming in 1-1. They lost a matchup early on in this season. And between the Ravens and the Lions, I got to tell you, man, I'm sorry, Lions fans, but I'm going with the Ravens, no doubt. Ravens money line, I'm hammering it every single time with this bet here. Because specifically, man, in this matchup, Baltimore Ravens, Detroit Lions, let me just tell you, bro, the Lions haven't beat the Baltimore Ravens in a regular game since 2005. And even yet, they played 5 times since 2005. 2 of those games were decided by less than 3 points, but the other 3 were straight blowouts. And then even more, let me tell you this. The Detroit Lions have never, ever in football history beat the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore at all. Since these teams been playing against each other, they have never beat the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. So I'm just like, I can't really go aside from the Ravens in this matchup here because it just makes sense that the Ravens will win at home in Baltimore here. So obviously things can happen. Anything can happen. The Lions have a different team. They came off a hot game the other week against the Chicago Bears, but you just never really know. And the main reason I even say, aside from the statistics, I'll put it that way, aside from the statistics of the Lions never beating the Ravens in Baltimore or the Lions losing to the Ravens every game since 2005, aside from those things, I also think the Lions struggle against mobile quarterbacks. If you think of all the quarterbacks that have given the Lions trouble, go back to the playoffs last season. Jaden Daniels, mobile quarterback. He tore the Lions apart. You go back to even other guys. Josh Allen last season tore the Lions up. Lamar Jackson has been doing it I mean, since the Lions have been good, he's been tearing the Lions up. But even last season, you look at when the Lions match up against Baker Mayfield, a guy who's not completely a mobile quarterback, but can use his legs and generate plays. The Lions typically struggle against quarterbacks like this. So going against the best quarterback in the NFL, who's good in every single aspect, man, it's just going to be tough. And I think the Ravens will give the Lions the business. Obviously, an area where the Lions can exploit, and I think they have a shot. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's going to be a blowout type of game, but I think the Lions have a shot because Humphries is out. So the safety for the Baltimore Ravens, he'll be out. Obviously, that leaves the Ravens a little bit exposed in the secondary there. So to me, when I'm looking at these different type of things, if the Lions can somehow have an offensive explosion like they did last week against the Chicago Bears in week 2, then maybe they can pull this game off. But I don't think if it's not a blowout, which I doubt happens, I don't think the Lions win. Close games have typically worked in the Ravens' favor whenever these two teams have matched up against each other. So I think if it comes down to a one possession type of game, somehow we see the Ravens end up winning again. Obviously, if it comes down to offensive possession, anything can happen with the way the Lions' offense has been lately. But that's just the area where I'm not too certain on, really. Yeah, I know the Lions, they put up 50 against the Bears. Any game where any team scores 50 points is a lot of points. Do not get me wrong, but hear me out. Those 50 points against the Chicago Bears don't really tell me that the Lions offense is back. Just because week 1, they looked a little rough. It's only been 2 games. One was against a really good defense in the Packers. The other was against the Chicago Bears, whose defense is not really good right now. They have a lot of injuries on that defense. So it's hard for me to be on the side of, yeah, the Lions offense is back. The Lions is going to be this offensive firehouse, how they were the past few years, when it's still super early on in the season. This game against the Baltimore Ravens will let us know what type of Lions team we're going to see throughout the season and what type of Lions offense we can kind of count on, because it's still hard to tell with the first 2 games, but hey man, the Ravens always are competitive. They're a solid defensive team, and yes, they are exposed a little bit in the secondary, but ultimately, man, it's going to be tough to beat the Baltimore Ravens. And I see the Ravens really kind of getting their way from an offensive standpoint against the defensive Lions. Now, the thing that worries me with the Lions, the defensive front, Marcus Davenport is down on the defensive front there. So that's a little scary too, because now you lose another guy who is a great defensive mind and another starter ultimately who can probably chase down Lamar Jackson and just, be able to help the scheme to contain Lamar Jackson, if anything. So it's going to be a battle, but ultimately I'm going to go here with the Baltimore Ravens winning this game. Now, this is a Monday night game, so it's going to be a minute if you listen to this right on the Thursdays. But above all, man, these quarterback matchups is really the biggest thing. Just the mobile quarterbacks, man. I think of all of the mobile quarterbacks that the Lions have played, and it just hasn't worked in their favor. Like the last few games, even going back to see some of the games, like the Josh Allen matchup last year against the Buffalo Bills. It was close. It was a close game. But ultimately, Josh Allen found a way to get a win. You look at some of the other games, Baker Mayfield last year. Yeah, he was there, but he found a way to get a win. I mean, Lamar Jackson last year when he played the Lions found a way to get a win. So for some reason, good quarterbacks just find a way to win. So that kind of brings me to the next thing that I'm going to talk about actually later on in the show is the top 5 quarterbacks. But before that, man, we got some news coming up in just a sec, so you can't really go anywhere. Got some more things I'm going to break down. A lot of matchups actually happening in the NFL this week. It'll be some good matchups, and it'll kind of let us know, give us some more information on who we think is hot and who we think is not. So we'll break that down in just a sec, but don't go anywhere. It's halftime.
From the office to a first date, there's a lot of pressure to wear the right clothes for every situation. But clothes don't make the man. With Mack Weldon, you can build a wardrobe that looks polished in any setting and tells the world that you stay you wherever you go. They combine timeless style with modern performance materials to keep you looking good and feeling comfortable all day, no matter what's on today's agenda. Browse everything from shorts and polos to sweats and crews. Go to MacWeldon.com and get 25% off your first order of $125 or more with promo code MAC25. That's MACKWELDON.com, promo code MAC25.
If you're a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility and your machinery isn't working right, Grainger knows you need to understand what's wrong as soon as possible. So when a conveyor motor falters, Grainger offers diagnostic tools like calibration kits and multimeters to help you identify and fix the problem. With Grainger, you can be confident you have everything you need to keep your facility running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/zip. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/zip. That's ZipRecruiter.com/zip. ZipRecruiter.com/zip.